Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Urbek City Builder. I hope you're having a good one because I am excited to be back today. We are going to be working towards a heavy coal plant, and to get one of those, we need to get our population up to 7,000. We also need to get some more logistics in this area over here, and we're going to need some residents as well. Or alternatively, we just upgrade this one because it already has the residents in the area. So we'll probably do that once we get some logistics in there and once we get the population up to 7,000. Now, last time we were working towards getting these right here, these downtown houses, and I'm hoping that today we can get towards the 2-story downtown houses. Now, to do that, we're going to need a population of 8,000, which I think is perfectly achievable, and we're going to need some healthcare within a radius of 10 for these downtown houses. Now, I would assume healthcare, yep, we need 8,000 people to do it. So that's completely achievable, and I'm confident that we can manage to pull it off. Although we're also probably, at some point, going to need a police station, which happens to need faith. And then faith comes in, I suppose, from one of these categories. We've got the chapel, which provides 2 leisure and 2 faith. So we're going to need a few of these guys to get ourselves a police station at some point as well. But for now, let's focus on bringing that population up to 7,000. And I think the simplest way to do that is going to be to come over here and just fill a bunch of houses into that space, into that space. And looking at this, I think what we're going to want to do here is actually go ahead and put a warehouse here, because we're going to want a road that goes this way and also goes this way, because we're going to have some houses around here as well. So we'll do this and see how it goes. We'll see what that does for us in terms of food consumption. Shouldn't be too bad. Although these guys here, those little shanty towns, I tell you, we'll probably want to turn those into something a little bit better. I mean, blocks, for example, if we can get food services in the area, we probably can get some blocks in there, so that might be something worth doing. I mean, if we have a little look, we could get a local market in right about here, which wouldn't be too bad. So I'm kind of tempted to give that a shot. What are you guys complaining about? What is your problem? One or more pollution in radius, currently 0. Interesting. And that's for the shanty town as well. Okay. Does the block happen to need pollution? It does. Okay, well, I'll tell you what we can maybe do is we can maybe go ahead and bulldoze these guys, and we'll go ahead and just rebuild them and see what that does for us. And then I suppose in terms of food and all that good stuff, we will absolutely go and put a local market in here somewhere. And I'm thinking, honestly, right about here wouldn't be too bad, or right about there might be a good little spot as well. Although over here is going to let us have overlap on that side, where I do think we're going to have houses at some point. So let's do a local market right there and see what that does for us in terms of getting some blocks in here and all that good stuff. And in fact, if I do this and I do this, we might actually end up with 2 blocks right there, which is going to be fantastic in terms of giving us unskilled workers, but it might have really high consumption for food. So we'll have to keep an eye on this and see how it goes. But this should give us a nice boost to our population eventually. This, for example, well, that's a rebel house. If I get rid of the rebel house and I replace it, hopefully, with a shanty, we should see it turn into a block. So that's a shanty town ready to upgrade, but no models have been found that fit here. The smallest model is 3x2. There we go. So now we have a block. Food consumption has gotten a little rough right there. And here as well is likely going to turn into a block. So food consumption is very rough right about now. But that's okay. The population is 7,269. So we've already got the population to where it needs to be. We've already got the heavy coal plant. So let's go ahead and get ourselves, I believe 7x7 is what we want in terms of fields to kind of optimize it for these farmhouses. So what we'll do is get these 2 to be 7x7. This one obviously can't be 7x7. It can be 6x7. And this one's kind of the same, but that should give us enough and has given us enough food to deal with all the issues. And by that, I mean deal with the lack of food. So to upgrade this plant right here, all we need to do is go ahead and get ourselves some logistics in radius. We need 8 or more logistics in a radius of 4. So if we come down here and look at warehouses, we are essentially going to want to do this, and this guy should upgrade and has upgraded into a heavy coal plant, which is producing 2,700 energy. So I think it's fair to say we can get rid of those 2 coal plants and we're doing okay. We have 1,800 surplus energy right now thanks to this thing. So apparently we are going to take a break from the city and go to the countryside. There are 2 new ways to get food: fruit trees or a farm shed for industrialized agriculture. Let's start with fruit trees. They need to be close to a country house, but far away from pollution. When planting fruit trees, you should wait a little while for it to grow. Plant 4 fruit trees and wait for them to grow. Now, this is kind of exciting. This is new to me. So an orchard is going to need some farmhouses, and a farm shed needs 1 more modern grain silo. Interesting. Okay. So basically, what do we need? 2 more farmhouses? I can do that. We actually have a really good amount of space up here to play with, and a good amount of space here as well. So let's go and lay out, and this might consume a good amount of my workers, but we are currently at a surplus of 1,200. So if I do a 7 by 7 here, obviously some of that is taken up by the snow, but that's fine. We'll bulldoze. I'm going to say bulldoze. You know what? Bulldoze this bit, and the middle is there. Bulldoze this bit. And we can go ahead and bring a road out up to here, and we can place ourselves a farmhouse right in the middle like that. And that keeps us nicely covered in terms of all of this. And then I might just do the same thing over here as well. So what are we looking at? We're looking at, I don't actually know how exactly this works. I think it's going to be right about there for another farmhouse. So if we go for roads, we want to go like this and this. And all I need to do is throw a field right about here, a field right about here, and a field right about there. And that should be everything we need. I can go ahead and throw a farmhouse in the middle of that. That should give us a really nice amount of food. We have got the labor to manage it, so that's going to be a fantastic bonus to our food, and we got the orchard as well. So now this guy needs to be set up, I'm assuming, in a similar way to the existing farms and whatnot. So away from pollution, good fruits are produced. It consumes a decent chunk of skilled work up front, but it only consumes, well, 7 after the fact. And it needs to have a farmhouse in a 6 radius. So, I mean, I guess what we do here is we look at getting like a 7 by 7 of this as well. So if I pause and do, that's not what I wanted at all. But if we do that, that's fine, because I can do this, take that out. We'll go ahead and bring a road up here like this, bring it over, bring it down, and we'll put a farmhouse right in the middle, like so. And then if I bulldoze all of this, we should then be able to go ahead and just put an orchard in here, a little something like that, although that is apparently too close to pollution. Because of course it is. We have warehouses down here. Interesting. So how close do they have to be? So there's a lot of logistics in that area. What if I was to go and say, how much does it need? 6 or more logistics in a radius of 4, currently 6. Okay. So if I was to say I wanted warehouses here, and then I was to bulldoze those guys and replace it with just a field, is this guy still good? Currently 5. I think we need 1 more. So if I go and throw another warehouse, say here, this thing is now fine. And pollution-wise, I'm hoping these guys are not extending up this way because I like my orchard. And I don't have enough resources to build it. I guess that makes sense. It's going to be 130 skilled work for every tile. So what we'll do is quite simply, I mean, we only need 4, but I'm going to do 4 there and 4 there, which I don't have enough resources for. So we'll go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, and there's pollution there. What are you complaining about? 12 or more farms in a radius of 3. Interesting. Okay, so if I go and do this and this, and I guess we'll do this as well, we'll just fill up that space. This is now fine. The orchards are doing their thing. And that seems okay. We still have enough skilled work for it, and I mean, it is unfortunately a little close to pollution, but I suppose that works. And I suppose what I could do is a couple of orchards there and there. I kind of like that. I think that'll be pretty good. I mean, in terms of food production, it's producing 32, which is a lot. Now, it takes several... Ooh, what are you complaining about? Not enough farms in radius. That actually makes a lot of sense. Get rid of you. We'll place a farm right there, and we'll go ahead and put a warehouse right here, and that should keep everybody nice and happy, and it absolutely does. Okay. It takes several skilled workers to start planting fruit trees. So if you want to plant a lot of fruit trees quickly, I recommend having at least 2 schools, which are the ones that stock the skilled labor. Okay. So we currently only have a single high school, which makes sense. In fact, no, we don't. It's schools. It's regular schools that stock the skilled labor. Interesting. Okay. So what if I was to just place a school, say right here or back there? Could even be a spot. And that'll also cover the villas, which I think is pretty good. So I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a school right there. That gives us the ability to store skilled labor. Although we already had storage for 1,000, so I think the school that we had previously is dealing with that. And this should also give us access to... So 5 or more education in a 10 radius to upgrade into a downtown house. So it needs a high school in the area. What else can this upgrade into? So this is currently a wealthy suburb house. I guess it is going to be the downtown house is the logical upgrade. And for you to become a wealthy suburb house, you need education in area as well. So what if I put another school in there so that we can stock up on more skilled labor? That might not be a bad idea. So if I do this, we can now have up to 2,000 skilled labor. These guys are also upgrading, which is fantastic news. And it just makes that whole neighborhood that little bit better. I kind of like it. Okay, so farm sheds. They produce a lot of food and need energy to move their machinery. The machinery and fertilizers used by the farm sheds require a lot of energy, so don't build too many sheds if your energy production is not sufficient, but build 2 of them. Okay, well that should be doable, but we need 1 more modern grain silo. So to get our hands on another modern grain silo, I mean, I feel like we could put it down here. So if I throw a grain silo right there, to upgrade it to a modern one, I just need logistics in radius. So what I'll do is just throw a couple of warehouses there, and this guy should upgrade into a modern grain silo. Actually, no, it needs 2 more. So we'll go ahead and just do it again, I suppose. We could put 1 back here, but I think I'll just do this. And now you can upgrade to a modern grain silo. There we go. And now we have the farm shed. So let's read about this. With fertilizers and machinery, we will increase food production. It produces 700. Its consumption is 100 workers, which is okay. We can get 3 of these. 50 skilled workers, which is okay. We can get 6 of these with that stat. And 100 energy, we could get 17 with our current energy stat. So this thing is totally doable. It needs to have no farm shed in a radius of 6. And it needs 20 or more farms in a radius of 4. It does pollute. So long story short... Ooh, this guy's a bit of a chunky boy. Long story short, I mean, I wonder if I could put it... Let's see. I could put it right there if I wanted to. Or I could put it... Well, I can't put it there because it's not close enough to a road. I think it actually needs to be... I think it actually needs to be on a road, which is interesting. I could put it here, though. And I think there might be an interesting spot for it. So let's give that a shot. And I need another one. I can't build it there, but I can build it here. So we'll do one there as well. And that's given us over 4,000 food production, which is kind of amazing news. So we're doing okay on that front. And I'm kind of happy about it. Now, after selecting a building, using the magnifying glass or the right mouse button, press the O key to enter building mode for the selected building. Oh, this is new. Oh, it just duplicates it. Okay. That's kind of cool. So I can like click on this guy and then press O to duplicate it. I like that a lot. When selecting a building, you can press G to see other buildings of the same type. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that at all. That's actually a really cool little detail. Okay, so now we need to build a religious neighborhood. For this, I need a church and a police station. Both are unlocked with 6 faith. We need to reach 6 faith. Now to do that, we're going to need 3 chapels, which do fortunately provide leisure. So let's put a little chapel down there and we'll see if that cheers people up a little bit. We could put a chapel right here and that'll hopefully cheer people up a little bit. And you know what? I think we'll throw a chapel right in the middle of over here. And that should give us 6 faith in total, meaning we should now unlock some things, I think. We also don't, there we go, religious neighborhood. We also don't have enough workers, so we might have to do something about that. But to get the religious neighborhood, build a church and a police station near one of your neighborhoods. Recommends a poor suburb. Now, we don't have any poor suburbs at the minute. Although we could look into getting one. It is definitely a possibility. I'm wondering if we could build it over here and see how that goes. So if I do some housing here, and I do some housing here, and I go and just put some roads sort of between those, is that gives us village houses. It's immediately, this is immediately upgrading into village houses and or shanty towns. I don't think my plan really worked out here. All right, well, I guess we'll leave that neighborhood down there. It's great that it exists, I suppose. It's not exactly what I was looking for, but okay. I'm also going to say that these things right here, these farm sheds, kind of mean I could probably get rid of a lot of my farm fields in here, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous to do that because I'd have to swap out these local markets if I do. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come over the river and we'll build ourselves another neighborhood on this side of things. I'm also gonna bring a new bridge around here because I think that'd be kind of cool. So use the gray bridge right here and right here, and we'll connect it together like this. And that gives us a nice loop around everything. And then in terms of actually building a neighborhood here, I think what I'm going to do is just a little something like this and a little something like this. And you know what? I'm actually going to bring it back just a little bit because I want the roads to sort of loop around this way. So something like that, because what I can do is put some houses in this space and not have it be all weird with intersections and whatnot. So we'll do this. We have this neighborhood right here, which is mostly a bunch of wooden huts. And to get it to be poor suburbs, we need a square condominium within the radius. So let's go into parks. Let's go to square condominium. And we'll put one right about here. We've also just got poor social building, downtown 2-story houses, police stations, churches, and clinics. Not bad. So we'll put one there. And then we need to go and put one here. And then we need to go and put one right in that corner, I think. So, you know what? We'll go for there and see what happens. So that has given us a bunch of poor suburbs, and to upgrade this to a religious neighborhood, we just need more faith in the area and a police station. Now, I think we can totally do that. In fact, I'm confident we can totally do that, but I just want to look at the things we've unlocked. So we did get the police station. We've also got the clinic. We're working towards anarchist communes and supermarkets and small banks as well. We've got nothing else in here that a goods factory. I forgot about that one. We have some parks. We still don't have the anarchist bar. We don't have bookshops yet. But I guess that's okay. The social building, though, this I'm interested in. So this can upgrade to medium social buildings. How does this thing work? So 200 workers, 100 skilled workers, 10 steel, and it produces 40 workers, 23 workers, consumes 80 food, 14 energy. I like it. I do like it. I kind of want to see, ooh. Oh, it's just a straight up building. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. That's actually really cool that we can just build that now. Okay, I'm going to have to keep an eye on all of that. But for now, let's prioritize the police station, which can go right there in the middle of all of this. And that's, funnily enough, our first police station. Can't be upgraded, which is whatever. And then I guess all we need to do is get, what was it they wanted? 3 faith in a radius of 8. So to get 3 faith in a radius of 8, we have a church, which provides 6 faith. And I guess we'll go ahead and build it right there. Now, what are you? Poor suburbs, ready to upgrade, religious neighborhood. There we go. Look at this. Ooh, actually some very nice houses. I like that a lot. Those are some very, very nice houses. I'm actually kind of tempted to get some more of this in here. Let's give that a shot. So if I do this, this, and this, extend you down to there, extend you down to there. If I just go and throw a bunch of housing in this spot and this spot, they should immediately become religious houses, I think. Yeah, they're immediately ready to upgrade. So that's kind of perfect. I've got to be honest. That's kind of fantastic. And if we really wanted to, we can extend it one further. And yeah, about one further is as far as this is going to go. Put more housing in that spot. And again, it's a population boost. It's giving us that religious neighborhood. It should keep everybody relatively happy. It gives us a pretty good looking neighborhood. I like it. I like that a lot. Although some of you guys are not. Oh, you guys immediately became village houses. That's not quite what I was looking for. I've got to be honest. If I get you guys to be suburbs, though, you can then become religious. So suburb houses needs food and education. Wealthy suburb houses, similar story. Okay. Well, what if I put education there? What if I put a school in, like, right there? Because that is going to give me more storage for skilled workers. So if I put that guy right there, that gives us up to 3,000 storage for skilled workers. And then the mini mart, I mean, we could place one right about there and right about there. And you guys are turning into wealthy suburbs. You're now ready to be... Oh, hold on a minute. We don't want parking lots, which they can become. So we have to go and get bus stops. And what we'll do is a bus stop right there and a bus stop right about there. And that should stop them from becoming parking lots. They should all become parts of a religious neighborhood now. So that's good. That's just a completely new neighborhood. It looks kind of great. I actually really, really like that. I think it's a cool looking little space on the other side of the river. And if I really wanted to, I could expand it a little bit. You know, if I do some housing right about there, those guys will become parts of a religious neighborhood as well. I like that. We also just get 3-story iron miners houses and 3-story coal miners houses. How do we get those? So you guys are... I'm really enjoying this. They're already upgraded. What? Oh my God. We just need food services in the area. Those look awesome. Oh, I love that so much. And then these guys over here, I'm assuming is the same story, right? They need food in the area. Okay, so if I wanted to put food in the area... Ooh, that's going to be a lot. That's going to be a lot of these guys. I could put it right in the middle of these squares, though. It just... Oh, no, it has to be against a road. Okay. And thinking about it, this consumes 200 food. We only have a surplus of 394, so maybe we don't do that. This is cool, though. I feel like we're getting a proper little town going. I'm also really enjoying the fact I don't need to manage traffic. Oh, now hold on a minute. I don't like this. I don't like that we get parking lots right in there. Not sure how to feel about that one at all. But we'll deal with that later. Apparently right now, we need to continue to increase the density of the city. We need to click on a downtown house and then click on the evolution for 2-story downtown houses. And apparently the first thing we're going to want to do is build a health clinic in the neighborhood where I want the 2-story downtown houses to appear. So that's going to be a clinic right here. And fortunately, this thing has a fantastic range on it. So I'm going to put the clinic right there, and immediately we get 2-story downtown houses. Look at them. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. That a modern 2-story house is going to need more leisure in the area and also more happiness. And we're also at a negative on food. Okay, we might need to We might need to do something about that. So let me do a 7 by 7 right there. That should sort the food problem. And I'm also slightly tempted to put a farm shed in here. I do think a farm shed would be kind of fantastic. You know, if I put it... Oh, wait, no, that's going to mess up my orchards. I could put it over here, though, if it was closer to a road. So if I was to go and do another 7 by 7 right there, and then I was to bring a road over like this, can I just throw a farm shed right there? I can. Okay, so that's given us a massive amount of food production again, so that's going to keep us sorted in that regard. And I guess now we just need to get 9 happiness. If I want to make my city more beautiful, I can transform my 2-story downtown house into a 2-story modern house, but first I need to unlock that by achieving 9 happiness. Now we're currently at 8.7, so if I go and look in here, I mean, we can probably improve happiness with some of this stuff, right? So chapels, you know, they will provide food services, consuming 300 food. I think I'm good. Chapels produce 100 of food, happiness reduced by 1. Cult of Bacchus, maybe not. Don't think we want to do anything there. Rural education, farmhouses deliver 1 education, consuming 100 unskilled work and 20 skilled work. Allowing drinks in parks. I don't know about that. Child labor doesn't seem like a good idea. All right, is there anything we can do? Reduce inequality. Suburb houses increase happiness by 1, food consumption by 2, and energy consumption by 0.5. Wealthy suburb houses decrease their value by the same amount. Okay. Improve conditions for tenant farmers. That's required. Okay, so improve conditions for tenant farmers. Increase their happiness by 2. Landlord houses stop producing food. Now, landlord houses, we have 2 of those. They're producing 200 food, so we can probably afford to lose those, right? That doesn't seem like a bad idea. So, improve conditions for tenant farmers. Activate. And that is going to bring our food production down. But it should, in theory... Let me see what that said again. Does that bring the... Yeah, happiness is increased by 2. That's fine. And then we also needed to reduce inequality. So, suburb houses increase happiness by 1, consumption by 2, energy by 0.5. Wealthy suburb houses decrease their values by the same amount. If I activate that... Oh, I have to wait 3 months. Okay. Never mind. All right, well, we might see some things come out of that. Happiness might go up a little bit. Policies are currently a minus 0.5. So what policy is making people miserable? I'm assuming extended working days, which increase unskilled labor by 10%. I could probably deactivate that at this point. And there we go. So happiness is now 9.7. We still have nearly 1,000 unskilled workers in surplus. So all we need to do is look at the modern 2-story house, which just needs a whole bunch of leisure in that area. So how exactly are we going to do that? So nice parks, 2 leisure, 2 green areas, lateral parks. A floral park is 6 leisure, and it is a pretty chunky tile. But what if... I mean, is that just a square of houses? I think it is. What if I was to put a floral park in there? What are you now? So still 2-story downtown houses. The bookshop has been unlocked. We still don't have enough leisure in the area, though. Interesting. Is this needed? I don't think we need sports in the area for anything, right? So I wonder if I was to go in and say, give me another floral park right there. There we go. Modern 2-story houses. Oh. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. I think that looks fantastic. A lot of these guys are actually ready to upgrade. And then from modern 2-story houses, we can go to mixed use, commercial, and residential. Needs 11,000 people and a small bank. That's kind of a big deal. We're getting into like, how does a game like Urbek have mixed use zoning and City Skylines still doesn't? I mean, I imagine mixed use zoning in City Skylines is probably going to be a major overhaul to the game, but come on. This has mixed use zoning and City Skylines is still like residential or commercial. Take one or the other. That's all you're getting. It's all I'm doing. One or the other. Take your pick. I don't know why City Skylines is like a stereotypical Italian-American mobster, but Hey, you're gonna play City Skylines. It's the only thing people watch on your channel, and you know it. You know it, bud. All right? Am I ready to build an artist's neighborhood? Let's start by building a bookshop. Ooh, okay. I'll tell you what, I actually like the idea of building an artist's neighborhood elsewhere. So what if we use like this place up here, like this area, to make something really nice and appealing? So let's go and get a road, and let's see. Let's get some spacing on these farms first. So this is currently 7 by 7. That's fine. Let me go ahead and expand farms into all of this space and get rid of those trees and all of this space as well. And that's okay. And what I want to do is I want to bring a little road sort of through this forest. I'm just going to have it follow the farms because it can, just to be a little bit different. We'll have it connect there, and we'll have it not do that. So just have this weird road that people can kind of, you know, loop around and do all that stuff. It's whatever. It just exists to sort of border the snow. And that's fine. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Although I'm wondering, could I do that and not have it connect there? I don't think I can. All right, well, that was possibly a mistake. I can do that, though, and then bulldoze you, and it still connects all weird like. I don't love that. I don't know that I love that. I think I'll do that because it's a bit weird looking and it's whatever. But what I'm thinking I want to do is I want to bring a road down this way and sort of like this. And I know what you're thinking. This looks a bit weird. This looks a bit sketchy, but I have actually got a bit of an idea. And my idea is, why don't we go ahead and put something like a dock, say right about here or right about there, or even back here would be an idea. Because I love the idea of getting some little fishing houses along the coast of an artist's district. I think that would look awesome. So let's go ahead and sort of circle around this whole space and, you know, maybe up to about there. And I think I can go ahead and get another dock over here, right? So if I go and get this one, I can put it about, say, there, or I could put it down here, which I'm not against doing. What about you? So if I put you there, that's actually okay. That's a good spot for it. So if we do this, and then I go and throw some housing into all of this space, I'm not too sure how well this is all going to work, but I want to give it a shot and see if it all turns into fishing huts, which it's looking like it is doing, which is fantastic. So that gives us a little fishing neighborhood right on the coast of what's going to be an artist's district. And I think that's awesome. I love that. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. It's a good boost to food production, and it can also be extended right down to there. So to tell you the truth, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do, is extend this down. And I might even go so far as doubling it up a little bit, you know, getting a little bit more density into some of this space. So you can go to here. So what we'll do is houses here, 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 and here. Those should all be fishing houses, which they are not. Ooh. Interesting. So some of them are not fishing houses. So what we'll do is we'll go in, put a road there and some road there. Take out those bits and that bit. And now the rest of it's just fishing houses. In fact, you know what? I want to take out those ones as well. We'll just have that sort of cut straight across. And we'll do a little bridge, say here, just to be a bit different. So we'll do maybe a wooden bridge, a little bit more old school, and that can, you know, go into its own neighborhood, maybe another fishing neighborhood or something like that, which actually might be possible. We might want to do that, but for now, we're not going to worry too much about it. So we need to build a bookshop. That's the priority here. And a bookshop is going to be in one of these categories, I'm sure. I've got no idea which one. It's right there in culture. So the first way to get culture in your city, if you increase the density around it, it will enlarge. Interesting. Okay. So let's put a bookshop on, I don't know, this road maybe? Maybe right about there. Each bookshop gives you 2 culture, get 6 to be able to build a library, and then I need to build a library. So what if I just do 2 bookshops right there? And I do, I don't know, another bookshop over here. I don't like that one. I want that elsewhere. Let's shift that thing along a little bit. We'll do a bookshop in the corner. And that seems all right. So, I've unlocked the library. And now the game wants me to build a library, which is also going to provide leisure and culture. So a library could go... I don't really know where a library could go. We have all these weird looking roads and whatnot. Let's do a library here. And that should be all right, I think. So when you reach 12 culture, your bookshops can be upgraded to 2-story bookshops. For that, they need to be in a densely populated space. Get a 2-story bookshop. So this needs 500 or more residents in a radius of 5, currently 144. Okay. So what is my culture at the moment? It's currently 10. What if I was to just build another, and I'm not sure if I can do this, but I'm going to try. I think we could get away with another library. So 2 libraries. I don't like that they're sort of facing the same direction. I don't like that at all, actually. What if we just build them elsewhere? What if we get rid of these 2 and I go and say, instead of putting them right next to each other, I want a library here and I want a library. Let's go for there. And that should be all right. In fact, over here might have been a better spot. So let's get rid of you and library here. And that seems fine. So that's a good little setup. That now gives us plenty of culture. It's at 14. And so we need to bring the density of these guys up a little bit. So if I do this, oh, that looks terrible. Never mind. Let's not do that. Instead, we'll do a road that comes back this way. We'll bring a road sort of straight over and down like this. Bring you straight through. Bring you straight down there. And I'm wondering, what if we did this? Got rid of you, and then maybe we just put a little park or something in that corner. So something like a, well, we can't do it until we have housing. So let's do housing right about here. That should bring our workers up. We should see some 2-story bookshops become a thing eventually. And I should be able to get more housing in here. Should be able to get some housing in here at some point. And I should be able to get a nice park in this corner as well. And that should get these guys to look at upgrading to village houses and eventually into other things as well, such as, well, there we go. Village house, wealthy village house needs food in the area. Suburb houses need a lot of things in the area. But this is okay. This is a decent little start. These guys are almost halfway to having what they need. I'm pretty confident we can get there. You know, this has turned out exactly how I hoped it would. All these little twists and turns, this waterfront that we have going on. We got the bookshops right in the middle. The population needs to be higher for sure, but we can totally do that. If we get these guys to be, so 8 residents, 8 happiness, 8 residents, 11 happiness, 10 residents, 10 happiness. So we need food and we need education in all of this space. And I'm pretty sure we can do that. So if I go to education and I go to school, we can put a school in here that covers almost the entire neighborhood. A high school wouldn't be a bad idea either. It's going to have more education. It does also produce high-skilled work, which I don't think we're using too much of. So I think just having a regular school in here is probably the right call. So let's just put a school right there, and that should keep all these guys kind of happy. And then to get you guys to be wealthy suburb houses, you're going to need a higher density in the area, but you're also going to need a food service in the area. So food services are going to be mini markets in this entire space. So what we'll do is throw one right about, let me pause while I do this because I want one there. And I want one, I think on that corner is the best place for it. So right about there. So that should cause these guys to upgrade, which it is. They're also ready to upgrade to parking lots. So very, very quickly, let me get some bus stops in here because we do not want that. We'll do a bus stop here and we'll do a bus stop there. And that should stop the problems, although we're now consuming way too much steel. Oh God. Now I need another steelworks. Now, fortunately, a steelworks can be built with, you know, in an area like this, as long as we get residents nearby. So I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm going to build a steelworks right in the middle of this space. So if I was to go and say I want logistics here, I should be able to build a steelworks. Oh, I need more logistics in the area. That's interesting. Okay. So that's not necessarily going to work unless I change things up a little bit. So what if I was to say, bulldoze, you guys, and you guys, let me go and build warehouses and warehouses. And then if I build some housing here, I should be able to put a steelworks right there, and I can. Okay. So problem solved there. We should now see my little art district upgrading, which I think it is. We should see you guys end up with a decent population in this space as well. At least I hope we're going to see that. I realize that it might not have been a great... Wait, did you upgrade? No, you still haven't upgraded. That's fine. It's getting there, though. 340 for the population. Although we are still seeing these parking lots, which bulldoze you, because I don't want that. And let's go ahead and just place another thing of housing right there. We might, to be quite honest, have to build a social building or two in some of this space. Like right here and right here for, you know, some social buildings would probably help us out quite a bit. It's also something I think we can afford to do. Although, let's see what we're looking at for population at the minute. 358 still. You're ready to upgrade. Are you ready to upgrade at all? You are not. You don't have enough residents in the area. Okay. So if I was to go and say that I wanted to put residential all the way across here, that should put us in a spot where we're going to see some of those guys upgrade, and by extension, some of these guys upgrade as well. So here's the question. Are you ready to upgrade? 364. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen unless we get rid of some of these guys and replace them. So this is 10 residents, 10 residents, 10 residents, and 10. So that's 40 right there. In that same space, I could get 48. But I'm almost wondering if 48 isn't enough either. It probably isn't. Oh, never mind. It absolutely was. I placed one of these things, and this has immediately upgraded. So, fair enough. That actually worked out exactly the way I hoped it would. And you know what? I actually kind of love the idea of putting another one of these things in here. Just right about there. And it's also given us the medium social building. Oh my god. Wait, hold on a minute. Medium social building unlocked. What? Did this have the... Oh, what are you complaining about? One or more food service in radius. Ooh, I did totally just get rid of that, didn't I? Uh-oh. That was maybe a bit of a mistake. All right, so we need a mini market, and we need it there. And that should stop you guys complaining, right? Yeah, it absolutely did. I love this little neighborhood. I think it looks fantastic. This thing's also upgraded. So to get a comfortable social building, we need a higher population, more happiness. We need 2 5-story residential buildings and 8 medium social buildings. Good lord. Okay. This is a cool little district, though. I really do like it. I really, really love how this little space has turned out. My 2-story buildings, such as downtown 2-story houses, modern 2-story houses, or mixed-use commercial and residential, can be upgraded into artists' houses if I build a sculpture nearby. Now, unfortunately, we don't actually have any downtown houses around here because we need more education, and we are going to need some tools in the area as well. So let's get a high school in here, and let's go for this spot or that spot for the high school, because that'll cover the entire neighborhood. Although, I'm going to be honest, I almost prefer the idea of putting it here because it's going to let me do the thing with the roads. So I'm going to put a high school there, and we'll bring some roads down like this and down like this. And then we need tools in here as well. Now, tools were a relatively simple thing, if I remember right. We needed either a repair shop or we needed a hardware shop. And I think the hardware shop is probably the better call. Now, this thing's radius is not all that good, so I'm thinking right about there for one of them. And honestly, I'm thinking right about there for the other one. Although we don't have enough unskilled work for it. There we go. Now we do. So now we should see these guys turning into downtown houses, which they are. To get them to be 2-story, they need healthcare in the area as well. So we'll go and, again, look at getting ourselves a clinic, which has fantastic coverage. And I guess we'll throw a clinic right about I guess there. So we'll put a clinic there, and we should start seeing some downtown 2-story houses. And now for an artist neighborhood, we need a sculpture in the area. So if I go into my parks, I don't know where I'm looking in parks. It's not a main square. It's probably in culture, right? It's a sculpture. We need 23 culture before we can get a sculpture. That's a lot of, it's a lot of words. It's a lot of words. Need 23 culture before we can get a sculpture. We'll put a library in, and I think now we can probably get the sculpture, right? Because we have a total of 24 culture. There we go. So now you can upgrade to, what do you need? You need more leisure in the area? Good Lord. All right, what about you? So for you to be an artist neighborhood, you need a sculpture in a radius of 5. Okay. So if I build a sculpture right there, I have 0 of 4 culture and a radius of 5. Good Lord. Okay. This is gonna be a struggle. This is gonna be a struggle. Okay. I need some green areas in the space as well. All right. What if, so this counts as 2 green areas. Okay. Okay. This is a lot. There's a lot going on here. What if I build, say, this and this? Can I now build a sculpture right there? I absolutely can. Boom. So now we're getting artists' neighborhoods. And those look even cooler than everything we've had so far. Oh my God. I love it. I actually genuinely love this. So cool. This is such a cool little neighborhood. Okay, I absolutely love how this has turned out. I hope you do as well. It's such a cool little neighborhood, and I'm really enjoying where we've got to with Urbek. I'm loving that we can kind of go in and just build a neighborhood really quickly and just have it look like this. And this, I imagine, is like, we're getting into medium density. We haven't got anywhere near high density yet, and I'm pretty sure that's a thing, so I am really excited to see where this goes. But that's going to do us for today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.